Well, thank you for coming in today.
No problem.
Glad to have you here. And perhaps we could just start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, well, I was born in South Africa,
Oh,
and on the way here in 2004, I ended up moving to Seymour, but in between that, I lived in Brazil as well.
wow.
So we moved around a lot because my dad, he's a biochemist, so he had to set up plants
wow.
in various countries. It's an interesting thing.
Very interesting.
So apart from that, I play a few instruments. I play the guitar, the clarinet, the saxophone. I started off in elementary school. It was a good program I got into, and after that, in high school, one of my friends, Christian, started playing guitar, and he started teaching me after school how to play basic things, and the head of the performing arts division at Seymour heard me playing and got me into performing arts without an interview. Then we played a few shows after that, and it's one thing I'm really glad I did in high school.
That's great.
And I was in the Future Business Leaders of America in high school as well. And I currently intern at a chemical company in Shelton, which I've been doing for the past 2 years in the finance department. I've done accounting, a little bit of regulatory work, and I've done a lot of financial analysis, which is why I want to go for this position.
Okay. So did you, is that where you, when you started your internship, is that where you first developed your interest in this field?
I've always kind of known that I want to go into finance. It's something I've always been good at. I've always been good at gathering data, analyzing it, and making it presentable. So whenever we have group projects in high school, I was always the one to do that. I like making charts that are easy to understand, easily readable, and when I started doing the internship, it was something that I blossomed in and I really started to enjoy.
Great. Tell me a little bit more about what you've been doing at your internship.
So what I do, I've been working for the VP and for the controller. So I've been doing the daily sales analysis for each day. So I have to go in and pull the raw data from our MIS system, GP. And then I compare that to our prior month and our prior year to see our growth. And then I compile that into a report, which I send to upper management every day.
How many hours a week are you working there?
Over the summer and winter is the only time I'm interning, and I'm 9 to 5 every day.
Oh. So it seems like you've gotten some good experience there.
I enjoy it.
Did you say it was in Shelton?
It is. It's off Constitution.
And how long have you been there?
I've been there. I started my freshman year, so 2017, I believe, or 2018.
Thor Specialties.
Yes.
Love that name. Okay. Is that someone's last name?
No, I don't know what that is.
It'd be interesting to find out the background of that.
It would be interesting. It used to be called Actichem,
Okay.
Active Chemicals, I think.
I like Thor much better.
Yeah, me too. Got a name change in 2014, and works a lot better.
So it seems like you've got some good volunteer work through your church, and that you have the internship, and also you have your background in music. But maybe what you could share with me is a challenge that you had in one of those areas, and maybe you could just share with me how you solved that problem.
So I also do karate. It's another thing I've been doing since I was very young, and I got my 3rd-degree black belt as well. So once I got that, I was asked to help and volunteer and teach the younger children on Sunday. And being in public and teaching children was something I wasn't necessarily comfortable with, but after doing it for a few weeks and getting to know some of them personally, it was a lot easier to kind of connect with them and help them out.
Okay. So it was something that you thought you would have a challenge with, but you...
Actually, I ended up enjoying. And I ended up moving into the advanced Wednesday night class as well to assistant instruct.
That's great. That's great. Well, it's, as you know, there are so many, great benefits of doing any kind of martial arts.
There are.
So,
A lot of self-control, a lot of patience and stuff like that has to be learned.
following directions.
Definitely.
Which...
A lot of push-ups if you don't.
Hey, push-ups are good for kids. Okay. So you've told me a little bit about one of the challenges that you faced, and you've shared with me about your background in music and with your volunteer work. So you've shared with me a number of reasons why you would have a strong background and why we should hire you. So tell me, why shouldn't we hire you?
So I do like finance and I do like accounting and money and all of that. So my degree I'm going for now isn't 100% focused on that. It's focused more mainly on administration, problem solving, and the background of all of that. So I do plan to further my education. I want to go more into the financial field. So I do think that I would be a good fit because I'm happy to learn all of the stuff that goes on, and I'm very interested in doing that.
Okay. All right. So, tell me a little bit about how you've grown in your role as an intern, because you've been there for a while,
Yes, I have.
and so tell me how your role has changed and how you've grown in that role over time.
When I started out the internship, I was mainly doing very basic stuff. I was scanning a lot of our cash receipts, our deposit slips, and I was just starting to input some of the checks that had to be checked by supervisors afterwards to make sure there were no errors.
Mm-hmm.
And my next year going back, I was given a lot more responsibility. I was able to do a lot of that without supervision because they saw the work that I did last semester. And now I have started to do the daily sales analysis as well, which is a big step up from where I used to be. So I'm going back this summer as well, and we have a new intern coming in. So this summer I'm given the task of teaching that intern what I was doing when I was there. So something I'm very excited about.
That's good.
So I've grown from as basic as you can get to teaching new interns coming in.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's great about an internship is that you grow and you do learn and you do new things, and then hire the next one, and hopefully you'll replace someone who's there, right?
You never know.
Or, or maybe you'll come and work with us.
Good.
Okay. Perhaps you could speak a little bit more about your volunteer work and some of the things that you've been involved with. What would you say is some of the most positive aspects of the community service that you've done?
We've done a lot of random acts of kindness, which I think is something that's really a positive for the community. We went out to gas stations and people filling up their gas, we'd help them out and give them some money. People going into Subway, we'd sit and wait until we saw someone that looked like they might need a little kick up in their day, and we'd pay for their lunch. So having that positive impact in the community is something that's really nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel good about doing.
When did you move to Seymour?
We moved to Seymour in 2004. Before that, we were renting in Milford for a little while. We were trying to get our legs in the ground and figure things out. Of course, all of our family is overseas, so had to figure all this out by ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So, do you speak other languages besides English?
I am very basic in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
My parents both speak fluent Afrikaans and Portuguese because of where we had to move, but I was so young I never really learned it.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand basic things they say, but I can't really have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, as you know, if you don't use something, it tends to go away.
True.
So,
yeah.
But that must have been a fascinating bunch of moves for your family.
It's definitely something that makes me stick out.
Yeah, absolutely. Afrikaans is not a language that I have on my board there.
It's very similar to Dutch.
Yeah. I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you speak that, because I thought that was what was spoken in South Africa. But so tell me a little bit about how you think your music background has benefited you, and why that would be a strength to going forward.
Getting into music very young. I mean, I got in touch and hang around in circles of very great people. I've met a lot of people that have shaped me into who I am today, put me on the right track in life, and it's something that I'm really grateful for going in.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Performing Arts Club. Okay. What do you do with that?
I play electric guitar.
Okay. And so, is that what the primary focus is of that club, is to...
That club takes a lot of the more senior and more professional players from the high school, puts them together, and tries to make the best band that the high school can make.
Oh, okay.
So I was lucky enough to be one of the first students in Seymour history to be placed in the varsity music. So I received my varsity letter for that, and that's what helped me a lot to get into that program.
That's great. Now, are you involved at all on the college level in any formal music club, or?
On the college level, I have not been involved in any music clubs.
Okay. Have you taken any music classes at all?
I'm a self-taught musician, apart from high school.
I mean, I was just curious whether that was something that you had thought of, pursuing on the...
It's a passion for me, but for me, it's not a professional career.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can, be a financial analyst and still
play
play
my
on
guitar.
the weekend.
I can.
Or play at night. I know a lot of people who do that. Tell me more about your golf.
My golf, I feel like it's a great thing to have on a resume. It's just a great tool that one person can have, because a lot of business deals are made on the golf course, and it's just a very professional game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a game that you can relate to if an employer is into golf as well, and it's something that you can connect over.
Absolutely.
So I try to go out every Sunday, but now it's a little colder, so it's been every other Sunday.
It is. It's a little easier to do in a warmer climate.
Definitely.
But you can do it for a good part of the year up here.
Yeah, you can.
It is a good skill to have. So is there anything that you haven't shared with me about your background that you wanted to add?
Nothing particular. I mean, I've always had a passion for finance. It's something I've always been good at, and it's something that I see as a safe profession. It's a professional profession, and it's something that I think I would personally be better suited for.
Okay. What questions do you have for me?
So personally, I would like to know, what is the basic benefits package that would come with this? Otherwise, I would like to know what healthcare options I have, what health insurance or what life insurance may come with this employment, and what potential I have in the company to grow. I'd like to know if there's any future positions that may be available, and I do plan to further my education, so I don't know if that would be something that this company would be willing to help me out with, or they'd be able to put me in the right direction.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions?
That's all I have for now.
Okay. Benefits, health insurance, life insurance, future growth, and future education you mentioned, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
Look forward to hearing from you.
Yes. Thanks.